Hey, welcome to the First Faith series where we're going over Matthew 8, verse 23. And let's get to it. Basically, imagine being on a boat with Jesus. The disciples got an opportunity to know what it was like being on the boat with Jesus. And this time, starting off, it wasn't where Jesus was doing any miracles or nothing like that when they was on the boat, because Jesus was sleeping on the boat while the storm came. So let's dive into it. I got my Bible. Grab your Bible. I got my note, Okay, so when it comes to Matthew 8, verse 23, it says, "Then he got into the boat and his disciples followed him." When it comes to disciple, when I was looking at, because I wanted a deeper meaning of what disciple means, it means a learner, a follower who is committed to a teacher, living out their master's way. So in this case, as disciples of Jesus Christ, we are committed to following what his way. The disciples on the boat were committed to following Jesus' ways, like his teaching. They was gleaning from Jesus' teaching, learning his ways, and they wanted to walk in that way of living, walk in that lifestyle of living. So therefore, as ourselves, when we say we're disciples of Jesus Christ, this is our rule book. This is what we're supposed to be going by, which is the Bible, and not our emotions. And when I look deeper into the boat, because what stood out to me in Matthew 23 was the boat, and I wanted to get a deeper meaning of what the boat means. So I'm going to read to you the definition of what it says. So a boat, a small vessel propelled on water by oars, sailors, or an engine. And the biblical meaning of a boat is symbolized spiritual journey through life's storms. Secondly, it symbolized divine protection or judgment. And when you think of judgment, you could think of Noah's Ark, for example. So being on the boat, when it's saying it's a life journey, because when you're on a boat, take a moment, imagine you're on a boat, okay? You're going through a boat and you're on that boat. So the boat has a destination where it has to reach. You're traveling along that destination. So kind of like life. There's a beginning, which is your birth, and then there's an end. And in between is everything else that happens, right? So you're on that boat, you're going through life's journey. You're going through life. You're born, you're going through in between, you're experiencing different things, good, bad, amazing, indifferent, heartbreak, all these different things, right? So that's the life journey. The experience of life that is happening to you, that you are experiencing, and you're going through that. And being on the boat also symbolized, like it says, God's divine protection. Okay, we'll pause on that for a moment. And God's divine protection, when you're on a boat, when the storms are coming, right? Let's say, imagine you're actually on an actual boat. The storms are coming, it's moving the boat. You could feel the boat moving, but it's not gonna break. You're not thinking, oh, the boat is gonna break. It's raining, the storm is coming, but you know that you're protected because of how the boat is designed, and you're covered, you're inside that boat. When you think of judgment, because sometimes when you're going through the storms of life, not every storms of life is because it's like, oh, I know I'm going through this because God is protecting me. Of course, I do believe in Romans 8:28, because even the bad, God will work out for our good. But sometimes it's because God is teaching us a lesson that we need to learn to build our character. Okay, God is revealing something to us in the middle of the storm. And okay, so we're gonna pause here. If you have any questions, comment it down. Let me know if you have any question, anything as well. If you read Matthew 8, verse 23, that kind of stood out to you, comment it, let me know. And personally, from my own life experience, like I said, the boat represents life journey. I have experienced it from the time I was born, and I got the awareness in that process, so many things, right? And what made me realize that life has its storms is because when those challenges came, kind of like when the storm come, it shook me, right? It shook me. It made me had a lot of questions towards myself, towards other people, towards even my faith in God, where I question. However, kind of like a boat that provides divine protection by going through those different challenges, by experiencing those different seasons in my life, I was able to know that despite it all, God is with me, right? That was my perspective of how I took it compared to somebody else who may go through the same experience in the same life experiences you have. And they decided that at the end of the day, they're gonna give up on God. Like they're gonna turn away from their faith and no longer serve God. So I just want to stop here on Matthew 8, verse 23. So I'm gonna be breaking it down